power of you, me, is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now.
Welcome. Thank you so much, everyone, for what it's taken you to be here. From far and wide, 8 different countries, 55 of us coming together for this important event.
Let the wind blow into your life, such faith and trust. Oh, let the earth hold you, take care of you, and nurture you all.
When the feminine and women are included, everything flourishes. And I'm committed to creating a flourishing future for all. And we need the feminine wholeheartedly participating, wholeheartedly that is expressed through all genders, and women to be at every decision-making table. That's why this and why now.
What's emerging for me in this summit is a confirmation of my instinct that the one way we're going to achieve peace in this world and actually stop war for good is through women and through their action and their courage. It's going to take a lot of courage.
We advocate for 50-50 balance at all levels of decision making, at the level of the co-presidency, but also in government delegations, non-state actors, companies, because we know that when men and women are together, we deliver better results. And this is also about nurturing both the feminine and the masculine energy within each of us.
Speaking truth to power, it's like knowing what you want to say and owning your story and being confident about it.
Despite all education and all achievements, it's like women are coming to the point where they're saying, oh, we did all the things that the world asked us to do, but there's still something missing. We still haven't been able to get the voice. We still don't feel complete dignity in who we are.
What's important is that you can hold this. What's important is that you can hear this. Because when the information becomes too much, we start to shut down. And I want to underscore what you're bringing, which is the feminine energy of protection.
I got here very weak because I feel like I've been frozen for the past year. And it's unbelievable how this experience has opened me up.
The essential experience was for me actually which field we can create if we come together. And if we put ourselves aside and collaborate.
The fact that often people like us, organizations, NGOs, governments, identify the problem for others and then identify the solutions for others and then also try and solve the problems for others. That sense of just making the person whose problem it is to just be a witness or just a recipient. We try and change the dynamic of that. We say, you identify your own problem, you figure out how you want to solve it, and we'll just stand with you. So what that does is that brings a sense of, oh, I have the ability. Just that moving of the needle where a woman gets to understand that she has the ability gets women to do so much, even with so little that they have, that it's almost magical to see it happen.
I speak on behalf of everybody who also feels the urge and the need to change organizations and systems in order to become a more peaceful world with little rush in it and stress.
I will speak on behalf of everyone who is having their freedom and dignity ripped away from them and who are invisible but living among us.
I stand for our capacity to truly hold space for our individual and collective humanity.
This feels so important. I speak on behalf of all little girls, including me, the little me, that had their voice, power taken away.
I speak in behalf of my little niece and my nephew, and I speak in behalf of the women who had been abused.
I will speak the truth of my heart and soul to all people and opportunities of decision making and making a change on behalf of all the courageous and wounded women before me.
The entire public space that we are living in, and what I mean by that is the institutions that serve us, the permissions we have, the language we use, was designed by men. I understand and I believe that we've changed in the last 30 years. We've actually been in a revolution in the past 30 years. Now, in the public space of the internet, of the virtual world, we're using the language of emotion. We're using the language, a much more feminine language. It's accessible to us. We're beginning to trade in it. What hasn't shifted yet is our own story about ourselves. We're still using the language of the othered, of the disadvantaged. We ourselves haven't woken up to our own life possibility, our own life force. And that's really what I think we're here to try to investigate, to occupy a new public space that is already available to us. But it's going to take quite a lot for us to drop the language of disempowerment.
I like to share with you the Gaian dragon energies that open up the feminine energy. It's very simple from the back, opens up the throat, comes to the heart, and releases to the world. And feminine intelligence for me is Gaian intelligence, the intelligence of the earth herself.
Where are the women? I was so offended at this question that I was moved to write an article that's now about 12 years old. The basic exploration that I gave was that women, I was also working with Jean Houston at the time, so I said, I'm going to sage the invisible into the visible. And in doing the research, I discovered that women have a different way of knowing, different epistemologies. We touched a bit on this morning with Sangeeta and some of the other speakers. And so I felt that women's privileged ways of knowing gave them the access to state experiences. And if any of you do know the integral or spiral models, you know they're very developmental. And so I thought, oh, that looks very interesting. It looks kind of, to me, like the men are going through stage experiences, structured stage experiences. But in state experiences, I was also given from another close friend, Elizabeth Diebold, the query as to why is it that whenever the human species has got into big trouble, women have saved it. And that's partly, she suggested, because they have the capacity to know through state experiences.
I've been involved with FemmeQ for the last 6 years, and I have to say, I've discovered that you're not too young or too old to really begin to create what you dream in your heart, and that you can cherish it and make it reality.
I think for me this is really uncovering something that hasn't been uncovered, but has been calling to be uncovered for.
My experience is of the feminine in a way that I had not understood it or experienced it before communally. Women have the opportunity to share what's important for them, which I realize is very different from what men would share in a meeting like this. It's much more personal and emotional and heart intelligence, and men are just much more mind intelligence. And it shows what huge opportunity we have if we work together.
I will start with love also. And we're going to probably get into this a little bit later, that behind the technology, behind the AI, are the humans and their intention and what they bring to creating that technology. And for us, because we're partners in life and work, love is at the center of what we're creating together. And yes, Sutra has this deep, deep love behind it of what we want to create in the world. Is the technology perfect? No. Is the technology constantly evolving and changing? Yes, but there is this deep love that we bring that comes from us being in partnership with each other and us being these reflectors and supporters of each other.
I always had a voice, I always had things to say and express, but I didn't necessarily have the space. And Rianne founded an organization called Women in Sustainability, who gave my first mic to speak. Thank you. And FemmeQ is doing the same again for me. Thank you.
Everyone is leaving with a full heart, an open heart, and a huge commitment to make a massive difference when they go back home with their projects, with their ideas, and to fulfill their aspirations.